Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. How is your Monday treating you? I am celebrating 8 whole weeks of showing up for me. 8 weeks of consistently moving my body intentionally and really committing to me. And this is a daily habit that I have now established for myself, that every day I show up live on Facebook, on YouTube, and I move my body. Excuse me. You start moving, sometimes those gas bubbles like to move. And so my name is Dory. This is Cauldron of Crafty Creations. And I am super proud of myself because, showing up for a daily exercise is not something that I've been joyful about in my life. I dealt with a lot of abuse about my body, and the way that I rebelled against my father's abuse was to refuse to exercise, to refuse to clean, and to refuse to follow, healthy eating rules. And, that was, those were choices that I made at the age of 3. The refusing to move my body and the, eating whatever I wanted. And thank you. Love you, Kayla. It was so good to see you on Thursday. But as a 3-year-old who was being assaulted, the only coping strategy that I could come up with to protect myself was to gain weight. And of course, now I can see how that was not a healthy choice. However, I love and forgive my 3-year-old self for making that choice, because that was the only thing that she could see as an option. And so as I got older, I saw my mom and my aunts all dieting and trying to lose weight and hating their bodies, to my mom and to me about our weight. And so, I learned, I literally do not remember a time in my life where my body was okay, where my body was a good thing. I remember being criticized for my body from the time I was a little kid, and being judged and told that your body's too big and that's not a good thing. And that means bad things about you. That means that you're lazy. That means that you, all of these different things. And so I've gotten on, health kicks where I would make a choice and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I would work and I would fight against that inner voice that was saying, it's not safe to let go of this weight. And, and I would be, and people, I remember when I was a freshman in high school and I'd lost like 30 pounds, and my dad took me out shopping and bought me clothes, and we got home and he told me he was dropping me off at my mom's, and he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I looked at him and I said, Dad, I wish you could be proud of me for the right reasons. Because to me, the fact that I lost weight wasn't as important as my character, as the fact that I was a good person, the fact that I was kind, the fact that I was respectful, the fact that, I helped take care of my mom who had health issues and helped take care of my ailing grandmother, and, that I got good grades and I worked hard at school. And, those were the things that I felt were important. And I didn't value taking care of my body the way that he did. And so I was upset with him for being proud of me for that and not being proud of me for the things I wanted him to be proud of me for. And, I know, I recognize that he was trying to help. He did it in a lot of really shitty ways. But he did, like, from his viewpoint, fat people were lazy and fat people didn't deserve to be loved. And fat people, didn't, have people, a quality man want to fall in love with them. I'm like, okay, well, if you're considering yourself a quality man, I'm not fucking interested. And so and so there's so much that I'm peeling back as I'm committing to taking care of myself. And I'm recognizing all these other times when I've worked so hard and I've changed how I was eating and I've moved my body more and I've done it. And even after I learned, so I read this book by Doreen Virtue many years ago, about 20 years ago now. I think I read it for the first time. It's called Losing Your Pounds of Pain, Breaking the Link Between Abuse, Stress, and Overeating. And I learned that, like, she called fats fear, anger, tension, and shame. And we turn those into I forgive, accept, and trust myself. And, loving your body because it breathes all the time for you without you having to think about it. And if you're a mother, your stretch marks in your belly are because you carried a child, which I'm not. I didn't carry a child. But, loving the fact that my body, takes me out into this beautiful Montana, where I get to see this beautiful scenery and I get to hear the sounds that are beautiful and I get to experience beautiful things in life and connect with amazing people. And, these are things that my body allows me to do. And, and so even though I've tried to do it from a place of I love myself, and so I'm going to take better care of myself, there's always been that part of me that still doesn't love or like myself because of this weight, because I was taught from such a young age that I shouldn't love myself because I carry extra weight on my body. And, it's as I, look at this and I'm like, okay, I've lost the same 120 pounds over and over and over again. And then I gain it back and I gain more and this isn't working. Something's got to shift. And so looking at, this level of accountability by setting it up where I'm going to show up live and I'm going to exercise and move my body and I'm going to talk and I'm going to tell my story and be very, very visible and very vulnerable about what it's like to live in a body that is morbidly obese, as the doctors like to say, because, that's a really nice thing to say, to hear said about your body when you've literally experienced trauma about your body being overweight since you were a little kid. And, I can't even count how many doctors are like, hey, you need to lose weight. And it's like, yeah, my shoulder doesn't hurt because I need to lose weight. My shoulder hurts because I injured it and I have a torn rotator cuff. And yes, I know I need to lose weight. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about. And, being ignored and discriminated against because of my weight by doctors who, like, I'm here for you to help me. And instead they're like, me. Like, it's hard. And like, a lot of people can hide their pain. I carry my pain in mounds of flesh. And so my pain is very visible for the world to see. But so many people don't recognize that that's there because of the pain and trauma that I've suffered. And so what do? They make fun of me. And they say horrible things to me or about me. And make it even harder to live in a body that doesn't fit in this world. It doesn't fit in chairs. It doesn't fit in vehicles. Seatbelts don't fit, things like that. And so, wow, I came on to celebrate, and here I'm, didn't realize I was going to open up about this and cry, but you know what? I've been saying for decades, it takes a strong woman to cry in public. It takes a strong person to be vulnerable and show who they really are and take off that mask. And so as I do the work on a physical level, you know, I'm nourishing my body with healthier foods, and I'm moving my body, and, you know, doing the things to take better care of myself. I'm also working with my therapist and working through the emotions that come up. I'm also working on a spiritual level with my coach and doing healing work in the spiritual realm, you know, to help support myself as I remove and release weight that does not serve me, along with the beliefs that come along with it. And, you know, so many times I know what it's like when I hit that point and people start noticing and they're commenting, and it's like I shut down, and it's like, nope, I just want junk food. I just want junk food. And like today, after therapy, I was like, oh, I'm downtown. I'm going to go to the library. So I went to the library and I was looking for something specific, and they didn't have what I was looking for. But of course, I mean, I'm a book dragon, so I go into a library. Of course, I'm going to find a whole stack of books to bring home with me. And one of the books that I picked up, which is the one I chose to snuggle up with and read for a while this afternoon, is a memoir that a woman wrote about her weight loss journey and her experience. And I start reading it, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I can read this because it literally starts where she's talking about the cake that she made for her birthday and how she ate the entire thing. And she's describing the cake and the frosting in great detail. And I'm like, oh my God, now I want cake. Now I want frosting. And that's not the direction I want to go. But I kept reading, and, you know, she found solace in food the same way I did growing up. And her father was an alcoholic and very abusive, and her mom was always working. And so, you know, she comforted herself with food. And her mom showed love by making all this food and making sure all this food was available to her kids, because she wasn't available to them because she was working 3 jobs to try to keep them, you know, keep a roof over their head. And so, you know, just seeing myself in this woman and in her memories of her childhood, and like bringing up things and going, okay, you know, and at first I had that fear, like, oh, is this going to make me want to go and eat the frosting? Because that's one of the things that I was binging on after my mom died, before I started the daily movement, was frosting is one of my favorite things to eat. And it's not a good thing, not a good thing to binge eat. So, but I kept reading, and I'm really glad that I did, because, you know, I'm definitely getting something out of connecting with this woman and her story. And so I'm going to continue reading it. I can't quite see it to tell you the title and the author, but I will come back and put that in the comments if anybody is wanting to know the title of the book. It's I think it's called It Was Me. Oh, It Was Me All Along. It Was Me All Along. And the author's name is Andy something. And so, very powerful memoir, very, she's a very good writer. Her writing is very descriptive and really sucks you in. And I have something else that I want to do tonight. And part of me is like, oh, just skip that and go read the book. So we'll see what wins out. The other thing I only have access to for tonight, and then it's gone. So I think I'm going to work on the art medicine festival stuff before I go to bed tonight. But definitely looking forward to reading more of this book. And so here I am, 8 weeks of showing up every day. And yeah, there have been a few days that I didn't feel well, and so I didn't work out, but I still showed up live and said, hey, I'm here. I'm honoring my body and resting. Part of me wanted to do that today. I did go for a walk outside earlier. I was like, no, I can bounce for a little bit. And I'm glad that I did. This bouncing it really, really helps my back. I've had numerous whiplash injuries over the years and have degenerative disc issues and narrowing stenosis of the bone where the nerve goes through. And so I've been having a lot of trouble with my hand, my right hand and wrist, especially, some with my left, but more so on the right, because of that nerve. But bouncing on the ball really helps. It really helps the pain, the spine feel a lot better. And so it's, and I do a lot of stretching on the ball too. And, if I am going to sit like this, I'm set up to where I can do a lot of my work from my recliner because my body likes that position. But it also, like, if I'm going to sit this way, I do it on an exercise ball because then I can move and it's not static. And so being able to move and stretch my back in ways is really helpful and supportive for me. And I mean, I've been using an exercise ball for over 20 years now. I started using them during physical therapy for a back injury when I was in college. And they have just really helped with my back and in a lot of different ways. There are all kinds of different things that I do on the exercise ball. But I've found that really just sitting and bouncing on the ball is actually a pretty good workout. Especially if I like crank the music I like and I'm like dancing away and I get my arms going too. And or like the other day when I was angry and I was like channeling some sacred rage into my body movements. Like I said, I love working out and stretching on the exercise ball, sitting on it. Like when I go to my craft table, this goes up and over the stuff that's in the way to get over to the kitchen to sit at my craft table. The craft table in my craft room is covered in stuff and not able to be used for crafting, which that room is the coldest in the winter and the hottest in the summer. And so the temperature in that room is not usually very supportive to work in there anyway. So it works better as a storage room for now. I'm like, in the wintertime, I don't necessarily keep the door closed, although that would probably be a good idea too. But in the summertime, I definitely keep that door closed and I don't open it unless I have to. And I may find a way to move my printer out of that room come next summer so that I don't have to go in there for when I print stuff, because that's why it's open right now, is because I print a lot and use a lot of printed stuff in my artwork. Yeah. But that's what I was saying is about the exercise ball, is that I use it for sitting on. And when I'm sewing, I sit on my exercise ball. When I'm crafting and doing other craft stuff, I sit on my exercise ball. If I'm feeling the need, like sometimes I do my tutoring on the exercise ball or other, computer work. So it's a very multifunctional thing for me. And it definitely helps with the back pain for sure. So I'm really proud of myself, and I'm celebrating 8 weeks of showing up every single day with a live video. And I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep showing up every day. As time goes on, it may look a little bit different. I may not go live in both places every day. We'll see, because I might start doing some on Instagram as well as YouTube, as opposed to Facebook and YouTube all the time. But we will see. And once it's nice out. It was in the 60s today, which was amazing. And got some walking in out in the sunshine, which was really nice. And so as I start doing that kind of stuff, I may do more where I just go live in one place at a time to do my workouts and, record myself live going for a walk outside instead of always bouncing on the exercise ball in the living room. But we will see. Haven't decided yet. And who knows? Maybe I'll go live multiple times and do multiple short lives saying, hey, I'm working out. Go for a walk outside. But it was so gorgeous out today, and it's so exciting, in Montana when it starts getting into the 60s. And I mean, it's exciting in Montana when it starts getting into the 40s and the sun is out, let's be honest. But it's really exciting when it hits the 60s. You're like, oh, it's only March and it's in the 60s. Oh boy. Do we have another snowstorm coming before full out spring, summertime? I wouldn't be surprised. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you do something today that sets your soul on fire and brings you joy, and that you follow your bliss. Choose love, choose peace, choose kindness. Take care. I'll see you next time.